Been shopping around for a armored case for my iPhone 5 and just picked up this Lunatik Taktik Extreme a couple of weeks ago. Been kind of testing it out and thought I'd do kind of like a mini review here. I compared Otterbox Armor, Incipio Atlas LifeProof NUUD, and the Hitcase Pro. Those are all heavy-duty armored cases, fully waterproof. In the end, I selected the Lunatik because of its impact resistance. Very good water resistance. It's not fully waterproof, but it's water resistant, which is good enough for me. I'm not going swimming with this thing. And also the feel of the Gorilla Glass screen protector versus the plastic screen protectors on the other phones, and the sound quality was superior with the Lunatik case. So moving along, I paid $99 for this right from Lunatik's website. It's on sale. I believe it still is. That puts it in line a lot more with the other cases. List is $125, I believe, and then there's about $5 shipping. I like the looks of it. Other reviewers have said it looks military grade. You can feel how solid this case is when you're holding it. I did test the impact resistance, threw it across the living room, hit the wooden floor, put a little scuff on the case right here, which you may be able to see, but it didn't hurt it too bad, and the phone was fine. I splashed some water on. I've done a few things to test it, and it's come through. So I think it's going to do what I want it to do as far as protecting my iPhone in the activities I do. And I'll show you that it functions very well with the case on. There's still good access to everything, and the controls seem very good. So here we go. Here's the home button. Now it does take a little more force to push some of these functions. Okay. Power button. Your mute is right here, and people have problems with it, but if you install it correctly, follow the instructions, it seems to work fine. Push it from the back here and down from the front. It's not going to get bumped in your pocket, which I like. So there's the ringer, mute. Good tactile feel on the volume. So everything seems to function very well as far as the controls. Port access. This is shown on pretty much everywhere, but I'll show you real quick. For your jack, for your earphones. That's a small port, so really only your Apple iPhones, or if you have the Apple adapter to fit in there before you fit some iPhones, or excuse me, headphones or earmuffs with a larger pin. You know, you may have some trouble there. Here's the charging port cover. Very heavy duty. Clicks in there real good. Keeps the dust and moisture out of there. The real Lunatik cases are all, as far as I know, are all plastic bezel. They do scratch a little bit. Not any worse than any other plastic, rigid plastic material. I don't think it's an issue. This is Gorilla Glass. Very sensitive. Right? and that's one of the best features about this case is the Gorilla Glass. It's like using your iPhone without a case. It's very sensitive. There's a little rainbowing effect, not bad. Not as bad as people would make you think. I think that's way overblown. I only notice it in certain situations, but in everyday use, I don't think most people are going to really be affected by it or even notice it. You clean the inside of the Gorilla Glass very well before installing the case. Your iPhone screen obviously get all oil and grease and contaminants off there, dust, and you may have to do that a couple of times, but it'll minimize that rainbowing effect. So again, it doesn't bother me. It bothers some people. Very high quality. Now, one thing about these cases is just about every one of them has a counterfeit or fake version out there, and it's a minefield. These sites like eBay or Amazon even will be selling the Lunatik case for a very much reduced price, and my advice is, if it seems too good to be true, that's because it is. The knockoffs, I've examined them. A friend of mine has one. He's got the latest version, and it is nowhere near the quality of the actual Lunatik case, I'm sorry to say. It is half the price, but I don't know. I wouldn't buy it. I don't belittle anybody for buying a counterfeit case. It's your money, spend it like you want. But just be advised, it's not going to have real Gorilla Glass. The plastic material, if you get the plastic versions, is inferior. The aluminum ones they're okay. Obviously, some people like the metal versions better. There are reception issues with them, so watch that. I went right to Lunatik's website, purchased it directly there, $99 and $5 shipping. They're all made in China, obviously, but the quality control and the specifications that Lunatik give the manufacturer forces them to build them to a higher quality standard level that shows in the finished product. So buy what you will. I personally don't support the counterfeit products and the manufacturers of those products. So anyway, this is a real one. Very happy with it. Let me show you Bluetooth function here. This little Philips hand grenade speaker. Okay, so it connected right away. There's no reception issues.
We both lie silently still in the dead of the night. Although we both lie close together, we feel miles apart inside.
So, connected, no problem. The range isn't affected if it's about the same with or without the case. The sound quality of this thing is phenomenal. The speakers actually port the sound out forward towards you. There's micro Gore-Tex mesh in here covering all the ports to keep water and dust out, and it works. It allows sound to come through and moisture and dust to pretty much be blocked, and that's a good feature. As far as sound, some of the other cases sounded horrible. They sounded muffled, they vibrated, they rattled, they did weird things. I've taken and received calls. The person on the other end says you sound pretty good. There's I can notice a slight reduction in sound quality through the earpiece. The speakers sound as good or better than the iPhone without any case. Let's see.
And I said something I did my words not come out right? Oh, I tried not to hurt you. Oh, I tried, but I guess that's why they say every rose
Sounds pretty good. So that was one of the things that swayed me to buy this case. I noticed that the sound through the speakers, which that's a non-issue for a lot of people because they use headphones or remote speakers, Bluetooth speakers. But I play my iPhone quite often with the speakers. I watch a movie when I'm waiting for something, or I'm playing music. So I like listening through my speakers. It's good enough for quick and dirty when you're out and about. I don't want to deal with headphones or whatever. So that was important to me. And I'm happy that this case does have good sound quality. So that's about it. The Wi-Fi and LTE reception, phone reception for voice, doesn't seem to be affected at all. I haven't tested it thoroughly, but I'm in a marginal area. You can see I'm only getting 2 bars, but I haven't, with the case, that hasn't changed. It's still 2 bars. The Wi-Fi signal is great, so I'm happy with the performance of the antennas and the reception on this thing with the case on. So right now, I think this case is going to do everything I needed to do. I'm happy with it at 99 bucks. I think if it saves my phone once from a fall, it'll have paid for itself. And with all the activities I do, I really should have had this case a long time ago. I've been lucky. I've dropped my phone several times. Inga, she's dropped her phone onto the linoleum floor and damaged it beyond, where it had to be sent back to Apple. So stuff happens, right? It's not if it's going to happen, it's when. So, if you're out doing a lot of outdoor activities or physical activities or sports or whatever, where you have your phone, where there's a chance that you're going to drop it or get it wet, then this is a good, cheap insurance policy, relatively speaking. $99, it's a lot of money, but so are these phones. Try buying one, before your contract's up, and see what it'll really cost you. So anyway, good luck with your choice, whichever way you go. Some of these extreme cases, they're pretty good. So there it is, Lunatik Taktik Extreme.